This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. So Donald Trump, let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump. Donald Trump had his little blog that he discontinued, and I don't know why he needed to discontinue it because he's still doing the same thing. You go to donaldjtrump.com, but it is unhinged, the level to which he is trying to stir up controversy and to fight against his own people even. I'm going to read through some of these, all from yesterday, the 11th, starting with the most recent. Seriously, it is a sight to behold. In case you missed it, Mark Levin blasts 19 GOP senators on Hannity. They chose tyranny. From Mark Levin, an American patriot. So Mark Levin is criticizing the Republicans who signed on to the infrastructure bill. Apparently, funding much needed repair and rebuilding of the infrastructure of the United States, including roads and bridges and our Wi-Fi, our broadband availability, is tyranny, according to moron Mark Levin. Here's another one. Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America, 8/11/21. I spoke to the wonderful mother and devoted husband of Ashli Babbitt, who was murdered at the hands of someone who should never have pulled the trigger of his gun. We know who he is. If that happened to the other side, there would be riots all over America, and yet there are far more people represented by Ashli who truly loved America than there are on the other side. The radical left haters cannot be allowed to get away with this. There must be justice. Again, a little bit more subdued, but still fomenting insurrection, still fomenting rebellion, still whipping the crowd into a frenzy, using words like murdered. This coming from the law and order president. This coming from the Blue Lives Matter flag waver. That the police officer who pulled the trigger of his gun, I don't know why you got to add the gun part of it, murdered her, he says. They were in the midst of an attack on the United States Capitol. They were in the midst of an attempted overthrow of the United States government. Had Ashli Babbitt made it through the window she was attempting to climb through when she was shot, unfortunately, the rest of the crowd would have followed. They would have overtaken the House floor. Who knows what would have happened? They were calling for the head of Nancy Pelosi. They were calling for to stretch the neck of Mike Pence. Who knows what would have happened? And Donald Trump, again, agitating. He is the agitator-in-chief, even as not being the president. Another one. Statement by
Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America.
Wow, the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, was booed off stage Saturday at a Georgia Republican Party event. They wouldn't let him speak. It is amazing how the people get what happened in Georgia and elsewhere. The election was rigged, and everybody knows it. Kemp refused to call a special session of the legislature and did absolutely nothing. Now our country is going to hell. So there's many things here that I'll just address a couple. One is Brian Kemp is a Republican. Brian Kemp is a terrible Republican, a terrible governor of Georgia. He effectively stole the election through manipulation of registration from Stacey Abrams. He's not a good guy. He's not an ally. He's not even anti-Trump. His hands were tied, and he did the legal thing. Secondly, is that it is interesting that any criticism that Democrats or liberals or leftists even have of the United States in an effort to bring the country to where we aspire to be is they hate America. They're saying negative things about America. But then the former president of the United States says, now our country is going to hell. And nobody says a word about it. Asinine. Here's another one from yesterday.
Statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America.
Fox doesn't understand that it is missing a rating bonanza by not covering the 2020 election fraud, the crime of the century, which is being exposed throughout many states on a daily basis. They are doing a disservice to our country with a capital C. People have turned them off. What? Now he's giving programming advice for Fox News? I thought this was a statement from the 45th president of the United States. What is he doing? Off the rails. And then finally, this one, quite lengthy.
Say my man Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the United States.
Bullies never fight. And that's it. Bullies never fight. From philosopher king Donald J. Trump. Anyway, what do you think about this? I would love to know your opinion, especially if you dissent. I don't know how you can dissent. This is madness. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me a regular old-fashioned email to daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. I appreciate you guys' patience while I'm guest hosting for David Pakman. Thank you for tuning in there. Thanks for sticking around here. Tell a friend of someone who may be interested in the content that I produce. I appreciate it. I'd love to see you follow me on social media. Connect with me there. Mix it up with me on the Twitter, the TikTok, even Instagram. And if you appreciate what I do and I bring you value, I would appreciate it very much if you would consider supporting my work here on the platform. For as little as $2 a month, $1.99 a month, you can click the join button, see what's involved, and become a channel member, which helps support and produce the content here on the platform. If you are already giving to someone on Patreon and you're familiar and comfortable with that platform of support, you can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and support me there. Independent media is very important, especially in these days. Stories, some serious, some not, oftentimes don't get in the 3 topic of the day rotation on CNN or MSNBC. And it's important that some of these things get talked about. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine and take care of one another.